What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. My name's Nicole and I'm an addict, and my sobriety date is July 13th of 2015. So before we get into this video, if you guys don't mind, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also click the notification bell. That way you will be made aware of every time I upload a video. For those of you guys that are new to my channel, I do go live on Mondays and Fridays. Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for our Medication Assisted Recovery Anonymous meetings. And on Monday for our step studies. So if you're an addict in recovery and you need extra support, you can come here every Monday and Friday. You can attend a meeting, you can get a lot of support from people in the chat, and also learn a little bit about addiction and recovery. So we all learn together. I'm not a guru. I'm just sharing information with you guys that I've learned from my sponsor and from working with addicts and alcoholics over the years, and also from people that are above me, like Dr. B, people at the meetings that I go to, all the different addiction recovery groups that I'm a part of, Mara. These are all things that I've learned and that I'm just sharing with you guys. So, and then of course also, I share my personal experience when I was in active addiction and now my personal experience now that I'm in recovery. So, tonight I'm going to share with you guys a freaking crazy story from back when I was in my active addiction. And this was probably 2007. Okay, so I graduated in the year 2000. I know, I'm old. I'll be 38 on March 8th. So if you guys were wondering, my birthday's just around the corner. So back in 2007, 2008, I graduated high school in 2000, and I had this best friend. Her name was Leanne, and we hung out and we did everything together. And she was like a wild child. I can remember both of our dads worked for the Postal Service when we were little. So like we knew each other all through school. And I started really gravitating towards her my junior and senior year, and we became best friends. Well, our friendship, of course, we ended up, we were both dabbling with drugs in high school. And when we graduated, we both started using drugs on a regular basis, mainly methamphetamine, tripping mushrooms, drinking alcohol, and smoking lots and lots of weed. We would go to these parties with this guy that I dated back when I think he was my second boyfriend. I had one boyfriend when I was like 14, and then this was my second boyfriend, the one that I was with that I thought I was going to marry. And he would take us to all these parties with these older guys. We would be out these like big old fields in the country, right? And we would have kegs all over. They would have like 6 kegs of beer, all different kinds of beers, bonfires, lots of mushrooms, lots of marijuana, and lots of acid. So everybody was tripping balls, y'all. Tripping balls, okay? Well, the guy that I was dating had like 5 other friends. So of course, I always took Leanne with me so she could like hang out with other guys and stuff. And sometimes we'd bring extra girlfriends with us, but most of the time it was just me and her. Well, all of my boyfriend's friends at the time, 3 of them had joined the Army. And so they had came back on leave, right? One of the guys had came back and he had brought a grenade back with him. Now, don't start tripping. It was one of those practice grenades that you pull the pin, you throw it out there, and it blows up. But it's not going to like blow up like it did if you were really in the war, like a real grenade. It was the practice ones that they used. So he came back from leave with that grenade, and we're all out in this field, right? I mean, I had probably taken like 3 of the caps of the mushrooms, the top part, and then two or three stems. So about 6 pieces, right? So I was having the best time. I was seeing all these like rainbows and tracers, and like I always had such a good trip when I would trip mushrooms, you guys. I loved it. I always had a good time. And so we're all out there, we're drinking, we're smoking pot. I mean, we're just fucking kicking it. And all of a sudden he pulls this pin and throws it, bam! And we're all running. You see the whole backyard of this trailer where all of these people are at. Everybody goes, shh, and everybody runs to different sides, right? We thought somebody had a gun and was shooting it off. Well, that's not even the story I'm trying to tell you guys. So that night I was supposed to go home, but of course I didn't go home because my parents were blowing my phone up. I remember because at this time my parents had let me move back in because I had, I fucked up or something and I was like sleeping at my parents' house, right? So their rules were you have to be home by 10. Nothing good happens after 10 o'clock. And so me being the rebellious daughter that I was like, screw that, I'm not going home. So I stayed the night with Leanne. Well, we weren't the kind of people that just partied for one day. Like, we were going to party all weekend, right? We were going to party into the week. So the next day we went out to another party with the guy that I dated, some of his friends, only this time it was in town. And so this was like not a country party. This was like with the city folks that we all hung out with. And so their parents were like really rich. And they lived in downtown Hot Springs in this big, I swear to God, you guys, it was a mansion. It had pillars outside of it, 2 pillars on both sides of the house. You walk in, there's like multiple levels to this house. There's a basement. It's like chandeliers and like crystal glass vases and shit. Like, and his parents were out of town. Okay, so we were like, hell yeah. So again, we had kegs, 2 kegs of Amberbach. I loved Amberbach beer. And there's probably like 30 people at this party, right? There's bedrooms full of people just fucking hooking up. People are getting high. Me and Leanne met this girl, right? And she was like, hey, I got some acid. Do you guys want to drop this acid with me? And I was like, okay, yeah, we'll take some free acid. So she gave me and Leanne this acid, and we dropped it. We were thinking, hell yeah, this is going to be great. About 10 minutes later, Leanne was so sick. She was vomiting. I thought she was going to die. She was turning pale white. Her lips were turning greenish blue color. She just looked like she did not feel good, and she was not happy. And I wasn't feeling anything. I was just feeling like, what did I just take? Nothing. It's not even doing anything. Well, this girl had us give her a ride up to her truck, and then we brought her back down to the party, right? And so Leanne looked at me and I looked at her and she was like, man, fuck that bitch. She gave us some bunk shit. She gave us something that's either like gonna hurt us or it's poisonous or it could have been anything, you guys. It could have been strychnine and we were eating it. You know what I'm saying? It could have been rat poisoning. That's how irresponsible I was when I was in my active addiction. I would take anything. And so especially if it was free, and this girl was giving it away for free. And my friend Leanne, she did not play. She was like, fuck this bitch. We're going up to her truck and we're fucking putting her shit on flat. And I was like, I'd never done anything like this, you guys. I was like, okay, we're doing what? And she's like, we're putting her shit on flat. So me and her got in her car. We drove up to where her car was parked at the Burger King parking lot. And she had a knife and I had one knife. And all I can tell you is that she went on one side and went, pop, pop, tss. And I went on the other side, pop, pop, tss. And that bitch was on 4 flats. I know this is so terrible, you guys. But this just goes to show you, like, the mindset that we had. Like, this girl gave us dope or gave us drugs that were faulty. They were bunk. They weren't real. That's fucked up, you know? And my friend was really sick. She probably needed to go to the hospital. Well, we did that, and we were like, we're not going back to that party. We're just gonna fucking bounce. And so we left, and we went up to Malvern to hang out with my friend. They called him Rockport Penny. And we went up there, and again, like I said, we just transitioned tonight into another party where we were hanging out with this dude. They called him Big Turk. And this dude had like so much cocaine, you guys, when I tell you that he had a full body length mirror on a coffee table, and it was just covered in white powder, covered in cocaine. And that's what we did all night long until the break of dawn. But the reason why I'm telling you guys the story is because I made such stupid decisions when I was in my active addiction. And I've also had people do things like that to me, like key my car and flatten my tires and put baloney on my car once. Like, this is all, believe me, Mama's gotten her karma back for all the things I've done. But what I'm telling you guys is, like, today in my life now, I would never do that. I know how hard it is, one, to work to get your own car, and two, to have good tires on your car. That's just expensive, y'all. And I work hard for my money. I'm not just sitting in my house living it up. I work, I have jobs, I have responsibilities. And so I look back on that time and I wish I could go back and make amends to that girl and tell her, you know what, it was me who slashed your tires and I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Because I should not have done that. And I don't want you guys to think, like, I tell these stories and I'm like, I laugh about it now because it's so far in the past. Like, I'm not that person anymore. But that's the type of mindset I had. That's where my mind went. When somebody fucked me over, it was fuck them, I'm fucking them up. You know what I mean? And I don't think like that anymore. Like, when I have somebody that does me dirty or anything, I'm just like, you know what? Obviously that person's going through something and I can't do anything to change their mind, so I'm just going to keep doing me. And that's the best thing I know how to do. I want to tell you guys, thank you for everybody that's been sending me messages and just giving me support. It means so much to me. And I also want to reassure you guys and let y'all know that I will be live tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for our Mara meeting. So no worries. We are going to be back on schedule with our regularly scheduled programming. So tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for our Mara meeting. I hope you guys enjoyed that little story time, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.